It happened. Maniacs! Hold on, let me christen this. Maniacs, welcome and cheers to episode 122? Is it still 22?
Sounds right. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds right.
It felt like it was 22 last week, but welcome to 122 of Soundcasting Network's very own video game podcast where your argument is...
Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock.
Invalid.
Yeah.
What you waiting for? Oh, God. I just referenced the smash hit of Gwen Stefani. And that song came out after I was in high school. So I'm old. This is Saltier Podcast, y'all. And thank you for being here. We are proudly brought to you by VoodooRanger IPA. That is New Belgium's very own IPA line. And they're freaking dope. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. And Sage was going to...
Oh, I was just trying to get back in the focus. But sure, I'll tell you about it. What this is, at least. They are employee-owned, some certified, was that B? Nope, not B.
Yep. B Corp.
B Corp. I got the B portion. They have multiple series, including the Juicy Haze IPA, which is a 7.5% alcohol.
That's my personal favorite. Goes great with apple juice.
Yep.
That's what I was supposed to do this
juice
week.
if it's too much for you.
I'll do that next week. Maniacs, and for some more information, the VoodooRanger family is brewed with trend-setting hop and malt varieties and served with a side of sarcasm. Let's just say VoodooRanger doesn't take himself too seriously, and neither should you. The bottom line is if you're looking for innovative IPAs that are hop-forward, bold, and occasionally hazy, the VoodooRanger fam has your back. Oh, man, I almost had that whole read. I killed last week. Hoodoo? You do.
Do what?
Dude, I know. That said, it's also B Corp certified and employee-owned. Fantastic beer, fantastic taste. And by results of the hosts of this lovely podcast, people that don't like beer like their beer. We got Goon to get into one of their beers. I like a couple of their beers, and I don't like IPAs usually, but these are fantastic. But be careful. That ABV is not fooling around.
Yeah, they are potent, so drink responsibly and live rangerously.
Live rangerously. And for people who don't know, New Belgium actually makes a hard seltzer.
Yeah, so that...
Those are all the raids.
Brown.
I know, we might have to put that in the email.
Oh, no, it is an email.
Oh, tight. Yay, thank you. Cheers. We are not brought to you at Studio 212 in South Lake Union, Seattle. We are brought to you from our mysterious spaceship hovering across the planet Mercury. And we are having a blast showing you all of our video game knowledge and news. And because I don't want us to just be another news podcast, we always have little hot takes on existing stuff and what we are just up to, because there's nothing new about me playing Tekken 7. So I guess that's not really news. That said, let's introduce everybody. Let's go to my right. And I guess I'm pointing, to my right.
I'm left.
To my left.
I'm
that away.
Stage right.
Well, it's me, Sage Bell. You find me Sage Bell, Twitch, Twitter, SageBell_model, and the other locations, such as TikTok, where apparently I do boost TikToks. Like, apparently that's my shit. I'm making drinks. And Instagram and Facebook, all at SageBell_model. I am currently streaming Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. And this last week, we did Borderlands again, and the Save Rings was having some issues with the game, right?
Yeah.
End stream. So you had the end stream short, and the game still didn't quite work for you, right?
Yes, I did have some issues. We'll get into that. We'll get into that when it's my turn here. But yeah, what else you been playing?
Well, no, actually, after you left, you crashed my game, and my game would not start anymore.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. Were you saving that all week? You didn't tell me that I crashed your game?
I saved it for live.
Nice. All right, sorry about that.
So, well, the game is
It's kind of janky anyway,
it's
isn't it?
buggy.
Yeah,
Like,
let's just be honest. Like it's fun, but it's jank as hell compared to the other two.
it definitely it's improved since the last time we've all played.
Yeah.
But someone entering and leaving the game crashed my game for me and would not fix itself.
You know what?
at
That hasn't happened since the first one, and the first one didn't have proper matchmaking when it first came out. It did, but it would like time out a lot. So people were using GameSpy. Rest in peace, GameSpy. Remember GameSpy on the PC, and you could like do your own matchmaking and stuff. So that's how you did matchmaking on that. And even up until the very end, that was still one of the more consistent ways to do it. They eventually did fix it, and it did run a lot better. You know, a couple of years later when that game was still popular. But yeah, GameSpy was the way to go for the multiplayer in the first one. So yeah, it's got a history of this. Yeah, but I did not know it crashed you. Hopefully that'll be fixed this week because I have my gaming capture PC set up now. It's a little wonky with the audio. I still have a mixer coming, and hopefully that should clear some things up. I've got it working, but it's very manual right now. I have to run my headphones through certain monitors to get the audio and then stuff. And then my webcam, my microphone's hooked up here where I'm used to having it on here. That's why I'm usually looking at you guys on here, but because it's going over there and it's on here, my screen's here. So it's kind of, and I have two identical keyboards and both mice over here. So I'm constantly typing in the wrong thing. And
that's me at work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good look. And then it's also me at work. I have right behind me, I have several dozen like laptops and stuff I work on. And sometimes you're forgetting what you're doing on which one, and you're just like, I'm
the wrong person. My computer actually did like the mass fix update. Like, you know, when they do an update, they break everything, they like give you a fast update like a couple weeks later from the broken update.
Yeah,
so
the hot fix.
Yeah, yesterday I think. So hopefully the game doesn't crash on Wednesday.
put a little glue on there. Yeah, sometimes I'll do it several times in a day on that game. But yeah, but it was just running horribly. Me trying to stream and play that game, which is very intensive. You can have like a $5,000 computer and it's still gonna like sit on that computer a little bit. You're not. Yeah,
but what if I have a MacBook though?
It's not even on there.
Won't even load.
Yeah, there's no Mac version for Borderlands 3.
It could play it if it wanted to, though.
Yeah, if you had like Launchbox and stuff, and wanted to take a huge performance hit, because I'm sure that game doesn't want to work right with that. Not Launchbox, but what's the one where you can boot into Windows? Launchbox is for emulators. What's the one on Mac? When I
don't remember. Everybody just calls them Hackintoshes.
Yeah, but there's like official software. You can actually get it at the Apple Store. I forgot what it's called though. And it lets you boot into Windows. It is Windows, and you can dual boot and like flip the screen, and it's iOS on one side or Mac OS on one side and Windows on the other. You can actually swipe back and forth between them. I forgot what it's called. Launch something.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on.
So hopefully my stream will be better next week. I had also broken one of the blades on my cooling fan and didn't realize it.
Gracious.
So that was probably what was making it run hot, which was throttling the CPU, which was making my stream drop, which was dropping my FPS. So I redusted out the whole machine, rewired some things just to make sure, and cleaned out the little radiator for the water cooler. Even though it was fine, I just tested it out maybe like a month ago. But now it's running much better, and now I can actually just play the game while I capture it on my capture PC. So we'll see. This Thursday, correct?
Wednesday.
Okay. What were we playing? There's something else we were going to play on Thursday. Or at least maybe I was going to play it. I was going to play Mass Effect, but I never got to that.
Yeah, you got to play Mass Effect.
I do.
That's what you got to do. That just came out.
Yeah. I need to sit down and play that because I love those games.
I didn't really play much else because the weekend was nice, so I did a lot of yard work. I brought Marika to Flower World, which is a huge nursery out in the middle of like nowhere, and it has like its own park area separate from the place. Plus, there's like a produce stand nearby and a place where you can look at farm animals. It looks like a little petting zoo. It was a really cool experience. And then we got home and then a lot of yard work because we bought some plants. And
nice. This was a good weekend for that, for sure.
And I did not burn, as you can tell. Did not explode in the sun.
Congratulations, for real. That's real talk.
Anything you'd like to add, Saberings, since we did co-chat?
Oh, yeah, this is the Saberings ... That'd be me on Steam. Also me on Xbox Live. Just the Saberings, all caps, on Xbox Live. And also Thanks Betwixt is on my Twitch, which I have been streaming a little bit more here and there. It's just experimenting. I'm finally getting some things down. But mostly just watching a lot of esports, watching a lot of the Dota 2 season. And I played a little cyberpunk. We'll get into that a little bit further on. But that's about it, really. I haven't really been playing all too much, just been kind of pooting around. So that's it for me as far as the gaming goes. Watching a lot of games, not playing a whole lot. So yeah.
Cool. Well, I guess we're kicking it to me. Thanks for the handoff.
Is. I thought you went already.
No, I just started with
Lana Brown.
Oh, hi.
Hey, what'd you play?
Who, me?
That wasn't Tekken or anything like that.
Yeah, not Tekken did you play?
Yeah.
Yeah, I basically played Tekken 7 and I played some Overwatch. It was great. Okay. I played only a little bit of Overwatch just to... I think I used it to decompress after work. I didn't want to watch a show. I just wanted to play a couple rounds.
Did you watch any of the Overwatch 2 stuff? Wasn't that this week?
Yes, I
don't watch any of that. What did you think of it?
I have my teams that I follow. So the Gladiators and the Outlaws, when
No. I know. I mean the Overwatch 2 footage that they showed this week. Wasn't that this week?
Oh, Overwatch 2. I thought you said Overwatch Team. No, did it happen yesterday? They said it was coming. They announced that they were going to talk about it this upcoming week.
Okay, so it's this week, not okay.
Yeah, and they were saying, "Hey, I think." Oh, nice.
You're trying to outdo me? Is this a hat off?
Yeah, it might be. No. It's just.
I got a tassel. Beat that.
Oh, I do like that they finally figured out how to make Ashe work, because for a while the whole idea with her as a character was, not really like a full sniper, but more active, and she could kind of do stuff that McCree, like what it came down to is everybody, when she first came out, she was just a not as effective Widow, and people just were like, it's a cool idea, and she was meant, like her dynamite was supposed to help take down goats, which it didn't. People just got, especially in the pros, it just got them more ult charge because they were healing more, because dynamite doesn't kill fast enough. So like, oh cool, free healing, ult charge. Keep throwing dynamite on the meatball. It's not gonna help. And eventually they made the 2-2-2 decision and blah blah blah. Now they're like Ashe specialists, and it's freaking awesome because she's just more, I don't know, she's got like different tools, and she's a fun character, man. She really, really is. They increased her like by like a quarter of a second, her firing rate, and it made all the difference. Everybody,
nice. Nice.
Because her going bam, click, click, bam, click, click, just wasn't putting the damage down. Because that's what Widow does. Yeah. Now that she's like boom, 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 and then like it's kind of scary when you hear her gun. You're like, get cover! It's like, why? It's like, she'll kill us all. It's a fun game. I'm excited for the anniversary. For people that do play Overwatch, y'all probably know this. Every year at the anniversary, they open up, at least in this last 2 years, they open up all the season skins and like voice lines, poses. You could buy all of them now and don't have to wait for Halloween or Christmas or summer games. And I don't have
currency, not your actual currency.
Yeah, and you can't use your actual currency. I've heard from some people, probably from Darkane, that are just like, what if I just want to straight up buy the Mei skin? And you're like, you can, but it's kind of a lot. It's like, I don't want to spend that much, but I'm willing to spend, more than, I mean, because you can't.
You're gonna spend your Disney dollars on there?
Yeah, you can't get like that money. You can buy loot boxes where you get a chance to have that, Whereas some people, like I said, just like, I'll just give you $5. I want that May skin. That's all I want. And you buy the loot boxes and you can get a lot of cool stuff and never get the thing you intended to buy in the first place.
Yeah.
Loot boxes came up again. Surprise. We're talking about loot boxes on Solitaire Podcast?
Yep, it's going to happen again before the end of the podcast.
Before we get too carried away, speaking of which, did Mass Effect have loot boxes?
No. That's a straight RPG.
Okay.
Back in the olden times.
Yeah.
They did have like collector's editions and things of this nature, but there weren't any loot boxes. Okay.
Well, shooting off save rings ... What's Mass Effect got to say?
Yeah, London, you want to fire this one up, the first little link here? I thought this was interesting. We'll make this brief. If not, well, basically the developers of the Legendary Edition were quoted in a interview as saying how they use mods for their benchmark as far as graphical improvements, because over the course of the years, of course, modding and stuff, and some of the bigger mods, some of the first mods, some of the most popular mods are the ones that enhance the graphics, make it take advantage of newer technologies that may have come out since now and then, so, smooth things out, things of this nature. People are actually doing that with Cyberpunk. We'll get into that here in a minute. But basically, the developers for Legendary Edition downloaded some of the more popular graphical enhancement mods, and they used those as their benchmark. They said, we're going to start with this as far as like how the game's going to look, and we're going to improve it from there. Which I thought was very cool, and it just goes to show that the console and platform rivalries that we have, they're insignificant, because in this case, modding on the PC helped make your PlayStation version look better, helped make your Xbox version look better. Certain when they tighten it up, certain when they go in and tighten up the engine on the consoles, help them make the PC version run better, and things of this nature. The fact that you can play it on a PlayStation means that when you go to play it on your PC with a PlayStation controller, there's no glitches, there's no hitches. It just recognizes your controller and all the buttons work and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to point this out. So cool.
Has there been an example? I got an example in my head, but
what's up,
Sagebell? Have you heard of any other games, especially stuff that you're into, that a mod helped continue the original game, like innovate?
You said you grew up playing Diablo too, right, Sage? Did you ever stack any mods on there? Mess around?
I don't think I ever did.
Okay, because that'd be a good example. People were still playing Diablo 2 and still do play it pretty hardcore with and without mods, and mods is something that helped keep it going.
So, go ahead.
I don't know. I know you could. I don't remember if it was. I think the first Diablo you could enter in certain codes and get like a lot of money, but that's not mods.
Yeah, that was just using like the little command prompt. The tiled key.
You can do that in Diablo. You can also do it in like the early Sims.
Yep.
So what I meant to say when I so rudely butted in was, when Smash Ultimate was getting slowly announced, the Smash community kept bringing up they're just taking stuff from PM, the mod that they shut down from being able to play because they didn't, I'm like, and now they're stealing. Well, they're not stealing, but they're using all the things, the way they made the action better, the UI, it had all the video game soundtracks from the games that people cared about.
Do you also not recall Blizzard, the very same company, when people were asking them, hey, would you release classic servers ever? And they were telling people, you don't know what you're asking for. You don't want to go back and play the vanilla one, because there were mods and unofficial servers that people were playing original vanilla WoW on, and Blizzard shut those down, and then like a year later they announced the classic servers, and those like carried them for like a good year and a half. Those were like really popular, and they still are. So that just goes to show that too. A game I play often, I may have mentioned it on here, Stellaris has
what was it? When did you start playing Stellaris?
Yeah, has a crap ton of mods. I don't play with them anymore personally because I've had too many of my games get bricked by mods. And it's for various reasons. It wasn't necessarily the game's fault. It was just the nature of the thing. But yeah, I've had some games in. But if you're into that and you want to play mods, those are limitless. I would argue that the best Star Trek game ever made is a Stellaris mod called New Horizons. Excellent. And the Star Wars mod for it is amazing too. So that's a game right there.
Technically, Team Fortress is a Half-Life mod.
Yeah, Team Fortress and Counter-Strike were both Half-Life mods.
I've never played Half-Life, so my brain was like, oh.
Wait, you've never played Half-Life 3? You've never played Half-Life 3?
Stop.
What?
You've never played the first one, Sage Bell?
No.
I will gift you a copy of Black Mesa. You should play that on stream. You would really enjoy that game. And you're into those types of games anyway, the suspense and kind of moodiness and getting chased by things. Like, that game has that. That's where a lot of these games do get some of that
smile
flavor
was
from.
perfect. That smile was perfect. Getting chased by things, you see your teeth go.
Yeah.
Chased by things.
Yeah. If you don't have that game, I will gift it to you.
I have the second one.
Half-Life 2? Excellent game too, but if you've never played the first one, you should play that one. And play Black Mesa. That's actually a fan update one that they worked on part-time out of the straight love of it, and Valve saw that, picked them up, and helped them finish it, helped finance it. And now it's like sort of the unofficial remaster of the original Half-Life.
What an update. Speaking of updates.
Tons of games, man. Team Fortress 2. And Team Fortress 2 spawned Overwatch. So that was also a mod. Team Fortress was originally a mod on Quake. They converted it over to Source Engine. It blew up there. Now you got TF2. Then you got Overwatch. So yeah.
Goodness. Good to know. Well, it's nice to know that, Mass Effect isn't too proud to just put it all out there. But
yeah, definitely.
Speaking of companies making a perfect game that never bugs out ever.
Oh boy.
What?
This is another game.
Was that a good segue? Sage, was that pretty skillful?
Yeah. You mean Borderlands?
We could talk about that one for days too. Like Gearbox is that's a whole podcast by itself.
Fallout 76?
Oh boy, we're still speaking on that game. This game is in that vein. This game was another game that snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. They had it right there in their hand, and they were just like, nope. Basically, this is Cyberpunk 2077. This is time for our little update. We haven't spoken on this game in a while. There's been several major updates for the game. So I just got a new graphics card, an RTX 3080, a couple weeks ago. I know there's issues between Windows 10 and that hardware right now, so it's not, it's not operating to its full potential. In some games it does. There's no problem. Minecraft runs fantastic, but certain games is still not quite up to snuff, and it's running about the same as my card that I replaced, which is a 2080 Super, which is about 4 rungs lower. Still an awesome card, but about 4 rungs lower. So I fired this game up after this huge patch and this huge download. It took like 3 hours to download it. And this is over like a really fast connection going over a really fast hard drive. And I spawned in midair on a motorcycle, and I had to jump off the motorcycle, and I ran on the street. The VSync didn't work, so every time I moved my mouse, the screen's tearing. So even in the settings, when I turned all that on, it still didn't work. Just VSync doesn't work. It looked very washed out, and it ran from about 39 to 51 FPS. So I played it for about 2 minutes and just uninstalled it. And speaking of that, I installed it here on my laptop, and here on the stream I waited. It's time for a dishonorable uninstall on my laptop as well.
Oh, wait. Oh, see, we should have pre-produced it even more. We could have got like some music.
Yeah, it's fine. Goodbye,
press F for respect.
No, it doesn't get respect.
No respect.
No respect.
It gets no respect.
Yeah.
Doesn't even get a GG.
Yeah, it gets nothing.
In fact, we're not even a segue out of it. By Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Google claims that Stadia is alive and well.
Not much to this story. We all know better. I just thought I'd bring this up because you guys know me. I like slapping these companies when they just want to be companies all over the place. So we all know that's not true. So don't be fooled if you see that headline.
All right.
It's not cracking over there.
I believe London is going to pull up a graphic for the Stadia story.
Actually, we can skip that one, London, if you want. You want to go to?
We can, but it's Tom's guide.
It is, but that was just a brief.
Just a brief.
If you want to, London, if you want to pull up the Discovery and Warner Media one, this one's huge, in a lot of respects.
Oh yeah, this is basically the biggest topic of the night.
Yes.
Woo!
And this affects video games in a big way. Basically, what happened right after Disney bought Fox. Before that deal became public, it was public that AT&T was trying to acquire someone, and that they were in talks with Warner Media. And if you don't know, Warner Media is CNN, TBS, TNT, Turner Classic Movies, a couple other channels. Plus, that's Warner Brothers Motion Pictures, Warner Brothers Music, Warner Brothers Games, which we'll get into. That's what we're focusing on here. Bugs Bunny, DC Comics, Batman, all that stuff pretty much everything that Disney doesn't own, they pretty much own it by default. Disney has Mickey Mouse, they have Bugs Bunny. So that's how kind of how it goes.
Wait, so Turner, so AT&T now owns AEW Wrestling.
No, not anymore. All that's gone. See, what had happened was, we all know Discovery networks, right? Discovery Channel, History Channel, TLC, these kind of channels. They took the entire media part. So everything I just named that was under Warner.
Yeah.
They took all that. Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. They took all that. All the games that are affiliated with that. All the Lego games. Everything. They took all that and they swished it out to its own company. And they struck a deal with Discovery, and they're going to take Discovery over here. They're going to take all the Warner Media stuff, squish them together, and they're going to be their own company over here, separate from AT&T, gone forever by AT&T. So they pretty much just spun all that off to Discovery. Discovery is the managing HBO Max, HBO, all that stuff. Discovery now owns all that. So that's what's going on there. And we're bringing this up because that's pretty big, because we all like to watch our things on there. I just named like 20 things that some of us have checked out and some of us we're all aware of. It's in the nerd sphere.
Yeah, but Warner Brothers doesn't do comic book movies.
Yeah, comic book movies, video game movies. Didn't Mortal Kombat just come out? That was a Warner Brothers thing. If that came out a month ago, that would have been a Discovery Channel thing.
Basically, if you have HBO, you can watch all of these things.
Yes.
Woof, man.
And everything, CW, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So who is? So okay, we got Disney, and now we have Discovery. Warner is what they're being called.
I'm not sure what it's being called. I think it's just under Discovery. I don't think they have a new name for it.
And then Netflix is
its own thing.
It's its own.
Totally
it's
its own
just
thing.
by itself.
Yeah, Netflix is just
that
Netflix.
Powerful?
Yeah.
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 They just like.
And you have the new Fox, the Fox that didn't sell to Disney. So that's the Fox TV station. That's Fox Sports. That's
Fox News.
And Fox News. Yeah. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that doesn't matter. That's so crazy.
They're still pretty big, though.
I'm looking at Netflix right now, and they make so much money off of only doing the one thing.
Don't be fooled. Netflix, they don't make money. They've been in the red this whole time because their productions cost a lot of money. And how much are they really making, charging people like $12, $14?
They made $25 billion in 2020.
But how much did they spend?
Yeah, sorry, you're right. Their net income is $3 billion, but this is what matters. Their total assets are $40 billion. So
that includes like the skyscraper that they're in, their headquarters. They'd have to sell that to have that count as a thing. That just means the totality of what they own. That's not how much money they actually have.
Okay, but they're not in the red. So that I think that might have happened recently.
Yeah.
Because a company that big at $3 billion is kind of funny. You're like, oh, anyway, money.
Yeah. So I point that out. I have some things here. I don't know if I can share my screen. I used to be able to share my screen on the other computer.
Maybe you used to could?
Yes. All right. I'm going to share right here real quick.
Speaking of super companies, yeah, I know. We got to talk about the Zon next.
So here's my screen here.
Ooh.
I want to take a look at the games that they own here.
Hey, zoom in, nerd.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Hey, Grandpa.
So here's Warner Brothers. We're going to take a look at their games here. So we've got the Batman Arkham series, the Fury series. Can you guys see this okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Injustice, Lego, Middle-earth, Mortal Kombat, and Scribblenauts. That was a pretty solid game series.
Yeah, I mean, we got.
Although I haven't heard from Fear in a little bit. I'm not saying they're not good games, but it's been, dude. I did QA on that.
Me too. I did. When I worked for them, I did QA on Fear 2. I'm in the credits of that game.
It's not under products yet because it hasn't been released, but they are also doing Back for Blood, which has an official release date of October.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, see, that's another one that they're doing. And I was looking at some of this. You got Avalanche. You have Monolith. They're local. They're over in Kirkland. I worked for them when I worked for
Rocksteady.
WB Games. Yeah, Rocksteady. Those are the ones that do. You got Portkey Games. They're the ones that do all the Harry Potter games.
And
you got TT Games. They're the ones that do all the Lego games.
And who the heck is NetherRealm? What the?
NetherRealm? You know who that is.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think they try to make fighting games, but
They're the ones behind Injustice and some of the Mortal Kombat games. Ever since then, I think the other company.
They're the ones that
is
should have been
Rocksteady.
consultants for the movie. Is what they should have been. If they got NetherRealm on set or in the writing room,
It's fine. It's fine for what it is. But I kind of wanted to point out we have Warner Brothers Games Boston, and I was like, what have they done? Their very first game out the gate was a little game called Ashran's Call. Does anybody remember that game?
nah, man, we need Darkane or some other old head in here to.
I think Riku Girl might know that game. But basically, Ashran's Call.
Riku Girl.
They were that was the first like MMO like head to head. You either played EverQuest or you played Ashran's Call. Like that's how far this goes back, and they both came out in 1999. So Ashran's Call was like a very monumental game in the landscape of MMOs that kind of get swept under the rug. But if you were into those back then, you definitely knew because people either played that or they played EverQuest.
99, when all three of us were just exiting high school.
Right? I should have been out of college at that point or close to it.
You mean graduating third grade?
Oh, jeez.
So so here we have Monolith.
We're so old.
This is the one that's here in Kirkland, Washington. They're the ones that make the Fear games. They also worked on what are some other stuff they have? They're still doing some stuff recently. Let's see here. We got
Medieval.
Yep. Got Fear, Condemned Criminal Origins.
The Matrix Online. How dare they?
Gotham City Imposters.
No.
Shadow of Mordor. Those are the games that they work on now.
That's right. And Middle Earth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool. Well, good for them. Okay, that'll be fun. I'm actually pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
So that's good news. Now, when we're talking about multi-billion-dollar corporations ruining something, though, like what can go wrong here?
Oh, are you talking about our good friends at Amazon Games?
Yeah, but I'm trying to make a segue to like we talked about what could possibly be good and what companies now have a bigger paycheck. But what if Discovery Warner Media pulls an EA and just starts sacking, or Microsoft and starts sacking these companies?
Yeah, I mean that's a distinct possibility. Whenever there's a merger of this size, there's always some risk. Yeah, there's always some redundancies in this nature, and who knows what Discovery even wants to do with that. The video games are way far down, and we named some pretty big publishers, some pretty big developers, and some pretty big games, and that's far down on the list. It was too big for AT&T to try to tackle with all their resources. So it's going to be a thing. We might see stuff get sold off, like how Marvel had to sell off their properties to other studios. So who knows? What's going to happen. So
Hot Rico Girl jumped in. Ashran's Call ? I played EverQuest and also Tibia.
Oh, Siberia?
I don't know. Read the chat on Twitch, where all the cool kids are.
Or you just go over to our tab. You don't have to switch.
Oh, on this one, I don't have the same permissions. I can't even see it. I have to sign in, but I think that'll kick me out or something.
No,
my goodness.
Just look at your comments. You should be fine.
You know, if you had a Mac, you would just have a...
a little tiny screen and like a 2-core processor, yeah.
It's freaking great, baby.
I have a touch bar, though.
I don't have the bar. I don't have an icon bar.
Meanwhile, I have 2 different browsers open, plus multiple tabs on all the browsers.
Hadrico Girl, are you on Project 99 on EverQuest? Because we should totally play that. The game is much better when you have like a duo partner instead of running around trying to do shit by yourself. So we should jump on Project 99. I have a level 14 druid, and that's who I play until the Ixar expansion comes out, and then I switch over and I'm a lizard person, and I'm like a tanky lizard person, and it's awesome. Yeah.
And my favorite company, we're moving on. No segue to this one either. But my favorite company of all time, Irmazern, it has made the news. Surprising.
Again, so Amazon Games, and I say that in quotes because they've only released one game, and it was a mobile game. And the flagship device was the Amazon Fire phone. So we all know how that went. If that's your flagship device.
Does anybody own that?
No. Actually, they were paying people to take them at one point. So
I'm gonna watch the time. 30-second segue. My new roommate just got a Motorola flip phone. It's awesome. That's all.
What?
Like it closes and it's a full screen when you open it, and then you clamshell it. I've never touched one with my hands before. Anyway, new world.
Nice. So yeah, this is the Amazon game right here. So basically, they've had 6 games kind of come and go. A couple of them never saw the light of day. One of them was released and it was so bad they pulled it back into beta and then they got canceled in beta. This is literally their last game that they've ever announced that we still know of, and it's supposed to be coming out sometime this year. It's called New Worlds. It's another MMO, and it's kind of a cool mashup of like magic and technology. There's pirates. There's like Roman centurions, different time periods, and so things of this nature. Well, basically,
like
the
Red
other day,
Dawn?
I don't know what that is. What is that? Is it an MMO?
No, what am I thinking of? Is it called Red Dawn? No, continue. It's a
Oh.
PlayStation game.
So basically, what they did was they announced their kind of roadmap and plans for the microtransactions and how all that's going to break down in the game. So that already kind of turned people off. But if you read this, they kind of go into the things that they want to have that you could pay for in the game. And it's very corporate speak. It's very slick. It's very kind of makes your skin crawl. But they're talking about things like Rested XP that you'd be able to pay for, and fast travel options to traverse the world. So things like this. It's all stuff you can still get in the game, and there's a lot of just cosmetics. But when you're coming out with this, and this game's already been delayed, and you have like 8 games that were like failure to launch, and before the game even comes out, you're trying to soften the blow with this, and to be really slick and corporate-y speaking, it was just really bad. Check out the link for the Twitter. We'll probably post that on our Facebook page or pin it in like one of our chats someplace or something like that. But go to Twitter, look at New World's Twitter page, and go ahead and read that because it's bad. It does not bode well. You brought up Fallout 76 earlier. They're loud and brown.
I would never bring that up. That's your baby.
We talked about Anthem on this channel and stuff before.
Yeah.
This is not looking good, and we'll see, especially with their track record. Because so far they're like 0 for 6 or 0 for 7, and this is looking like it's going to be 0 for 8. So,
wow.
Yeah. And then they came out and had a little rebuttal for it, but it was also equally slimy and very corporate speaking. So we'll just put a pin in that one, and we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll watch the disaster unfold probably like we did with their other 6 games that have come out since we've been doing this podcast that kind of fell on their face.
There's got to be a happy Goldilocks zone for microtransactions to exit this topic and to talk about a bigger one, because not every game with microtransaction gets completely vilified. For example, I've always been pretty transparent that I like the way Street Fighter does their microtransactions, because it's like, especially if you're a Street Fighter player, like if that's the game you play and you don't need cosmetics, the microtransactions.
Well, and also here's the thing: if you own Street Fighter and just have the basic fighters, you still got Ryu in the white suit, you got Ken in the red suit. It's still Street Fighter. You don't need all that other stuff. If you want to get into it and get a fancy one, sure, that's on you. Buy it in a bundle, whatever you're gonna do. But yeah, it's still Street Fighter when you take it out the box. So Street Fighter gets away with that because it's still Street Fighter at the end of the day. You want to just do Hadoukens and all that.
You're right. That makes sense.
They look like how they look like, and that's just how it goes. If you want that other stuff, optional.
For new games, they need to create a legacy, and they need to create lore and fandom.
And here's the other thing. The game costs $40. It'd be one thing if it was a free-to-play game, but it's not.
Oh!
So a game like Genshin Impact gets away with it because it's a free-to-play game. But you're going to charge $40 plus charge money for the DLC, and then start charging money for time savers and things like this in an MMO. And you know what? Honestly, it's fine. If you want to do that in a game, but then also have another game where there's none of that. So you have a balance, because I think that's the thing. They try to cram this into every game, and you don't have to do that in every game. And that's been proven over and over and over. So if you want to do that, fine, but just do it in another game. And don't have this be like what you're banking on.
No way, man. Just keep advertising to the techies that are 23-year-old making $85K and have that extra cash to be. I want to play the easy version of this. Whoa, what's that?
The sound?
Was that a motorcycle?
No, that was like a semi or something.
Okay. But
you didn't pick up, there's a low-flying helicopter earlier, and that's why I got out of my seat because everything was going, and I was like.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff flying around. I saw the Starlink. I saw the Elon Musk Starlink doing the satellite thing, and that was weird because I thought it was a UFO at first.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why there's a lot of helicopters going by because it's nearby or something.
Military base too. So,
that said, give everybody all of your money and just spend everything on games. Microtransactions are the new game. The story doesn't matter.
It's true.
Does your avatar look cool?
I tell my kids this all the time. It's like when I was a kid, we would ask for money or ask for a game. Now you guys ask for money to spend in a game that you already have. Like my kids don't ask me for new games. They ask me for V-Bucks or they ask me for whatever our currency.
What generation is that? Because they're not
so
Zoomers.
Weird. It's so weird. Yeah, they don't really ask me for games because the games are free or they're cheap.
Yeah.
You get them for their birthday or whatever. And then but all year they're asking for Rocket League money and stuff.
Frick.
Yeah.
Well, Maniacs, if you're just joining us, this is Salt Tier Podcast, Soundcasting Network's very own video game podcast where your argument is invalid. Oh, look at that. I did it nice and quick. We are brought to you by VoodooRanger IPA, #liverangerously. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your wife, tell your kids that we are on Instagram and Twitter, salt_tierpod. Everything else should be Salt Tier Podcast. And we stream every Monday night. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Which is the one that gets all the love,
all the engagement
with our phantom 5th and 6th Beatles.
We have almost equal parts on YouTube right now.
Oh, really? I haven't been on the YouTubes. And yeah, Facebook has like 2 or 3 also, so we're just all over the place.
We got JB and Magic Works this week hanging out on YouTube.
Nice.
JB, best friend there with all the classic Mario Kart battles.
Trying to convince him to join our Steam group.
Yeah, he's in there.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't.
You're not in the Steam group? I thought he was.
All right. What are you giving away this month?
Oh, yeah, I did.
What's the landmark?
I did gift him Half-Life. That's true.
Yeah,
he says it's pretty awesome.
Okay. What's the gift that's going to happen this month? What game do you have ready to treat? Probably Stoddy, but someone might be able to get it that isn't.
I would have to look it up. Let's see. We got quite a few games here.
While you're looking that up, I got my little. Oh, we got way fun news. Dead by Daylight, baby.
So right now they're doing some really silly things in Dead by Daylight. So normally on the 13th of every month, you get a rank reset. Well, this month, they made it a value of blood points as well. So they rolled out a rank roulette. So you can type that in for your code for today until it expires, and you get 20,000 blood points. So it's in-game currency that you can use to not unlock your character, but level up your character. It's not quite currency, but it basically just lets you level up your character, unlock different skills that you can have like 5 different skills to your character. 4. I don't know where 5 came from, but you have 4 different skills, and so you can have this like blood web and use blood points to unlock skills and items and stuff. And in addition to the weird roulette where I never got a rank reset. Some people, so there's like colors. Red means you're like ranks like 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, like your top tier or whatever. And then you got purple, green, yellow, and brown. Brown is starting level. And some people.
Yo, what did they say about brown?
It's starting level. It's the noob level. It's like Taekwondo, right?
Yeah. Basically like
sus. Sus.
But you can't be mad because the highest level is the black belt, so chill.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, like some people went up from a green rank to a red rank. Some people dropped down to purple from red rank. So they're like, it was just literally a roulette anywhere. And right now the current theme for the month, it's like a rift challenge. I don't know how to explain that loosely, but the theme is Left 4 Dead.
Okay.
Cool.
And when you open the doors to leave, there's a gnome somewhere in the level that you have to go up and kick. And all you're doing to do for that is to get a charm that you can carry. So it's like just a stupid in-game accessory your character can have. And right before we started the podcast, I finally found the gnome after 4 days of trying this. and I missed it because the timer ran out before I could kick the gnome, and I'm so upset.
Wow.
No trinket for you.
That's how they get you. But you can go back and we'll go buy some time savers probably and get some rested XP, and then you can world travel to where the gnome is. But
I
you just gotta
want-
put in your credit card first.
No, the trick is that you just play as killer so that you're still in the map when the doors open and you're not
Okay.
trying to die. And
Oh,
you
so it
just run
counts. It
around.
counts if you play the killer too.
So
Okay.
I've been playing killer because I don't care about like my rank in killer.
Got it. So, you know, these Easter eggs are cool and being able to get trinkets. Does anybody remember Halo skulls?
Yeah, I never got them though. Like it never.
I
made
got
sense to me.
one because they're really hard to find. And to the maniacs that are listening that don't understand this,
I always skipped them.
yeah, it's on the campaign. And when you pick up these skulls, it's not a perk. It's the opposite. It's something that makes the game harder.
Yeah.
You pick up a skull, the
Well, for one,
you
you
know-
can't shoot because you're holding it.
no. When you pick it up, it just modifies the game. Like you pick it up, and then all of a sudden you have basically a new way to play.
But isn't there a mode where like you grab it and like you don't put it down?
Oh yeah, no, that's something
multiplayer?
ball. That's skull
Okay.
ball or whatever it's called, death ball. But when you pick up a skull in campaign, sometimes the enemies will all of a sudden be able to see through walls, and you play the rest of the game like that, and it's so much harder. Or the hardest one, the only one I found, and this was for Halo 3, I picked up the skull, and my HUD disappeared. All of it.
You're
No
playing on real-
crosshairs. I don't know
playing-
how much ammo I have. I just have a screen.
That's called realistic mode on the PC.
Holy crap! It was so hard. It was so hard.
Yep.
Anyway, so I think that'd be kind of funny. They should do that more. Give people perks and Easter eggs that are actually not advantageous. It's not fun to get. Imagine if you got the gnome as a trinket, but it weighs 80 pounds, and for the rest of the month, your character moved like it was dragging like a body.
It was
And
encumbered.
you're like, what happened? He's like,
It would
well, I
just move
found
like
the
its pyramid
gnome.
head?
Say what?
It would just move like its pyramid head.
Yeah, but
That's a playable killer.
No, but you play like that anytime you equip the trinket. You're like, oh, I just want to play a couple rounds of DVD. It's like, Sage, where are you? I'm like, I'm coming. The stupid gnome is making me slow. That'd be actually really funny.
It only would work on survivors because killers don't carry their trinkets. They have their trinkets on the hooks, the death hooks. So they decorate where they murder you.
That was a very cute gesture when you said death hooks. But you were talking about something super brutal. The death hooks. The death hooks.
I'll be the adorable one that talks about death and destruction.
Death. Speaking of death and destruction, this has nothing to do with death and destruction.
It might.
I
though.
finally played on my stick, and in the FGC scene, I've been notorious for not really being a stickler. I borrow people's, fight stick and be like, "That's fine." And they're like, "Oh, did you lose because of, was the stick janky?" I'm like, "No, I lost because I didn't know how to input them well. I'm just bad at the game." But I started playing Tekken with my stick and all the pieces that I wanted. Right? Yeah, focus attack, baby. Focus attack is where I got my extra parts and extra buttons. And I got metallic, like gold and silver buttons that I had on my other stick, but these were different. They're screw in instead of click in, so it stays nice and tight. Look at how beautiful these setups are. Anyway, I played with King on some Tekken, and I never dropped combos. There's an input that's forward, forward, forward. Forward, 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 2-4. And if you whiff it, you'll get a weaker throw and you'll swap sides. Are you trying to press the help button?
Yeah.
But I hope I don't get spoiled by this, but Sagebell, I got extra parts for you if you need to swap out things now. Mainly the joystick that I got.
Ooh.
I know, JB, it's the truth. Check out Focus Attack, and also London if you kick over to the next.
I know this appeals to JB because he was the kid that had the NES Advantage. He had the NES Advantage.
Yeah, this is the next step above that. But the next link, London, is for all fight sticks, which is where I got the bulk of my parts from. So that's where my wire set came from, and that's where I ordered my main brain. That's the body I got. I got white metal, because you know me, I don't really like plastics, and it's heavy and it's sturdy, and you know, if you look up, it's very non-frills, this website. You buy pieces. It doesn't, you know, their gallery for other people's builds is on their Instagram, but their website is basically, it almost looks like a warehouse. You just order parts, and if you look up top part picker, parts and accessories. I got the universal, so I could play on Xbox. Right now, I could currently play on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, although they said they're working on firmware to make it work on PlayStation 5, and then PC. And I don't have to change or click any buttons. The universal fight card just lets me do that. And I have a kind of a dope lever. I might add springs to it, but it's a beautiful stick. Got all my people on it, except for Talim and Birdie. I'm so... Talim? Sagebell? Is it Talim or Talim?
I always say Talim, and you always say Talim.
Oh, Talim. I'll go with Talim. You actually play the freaking game. You know, that square up screen with like Talim versus Mitsurugi. You know, you probably heard it more than I have.
Welcome back to the stage of destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I did play a lot of 4, but I mean, who knows if that translated over, because they pronounce Songmina and they spell Songmina differently in every game.
And you know, this is funny. This actually segues into it with pronunciation and ethnics. Please, London, hit that next link, because it's not amazing enough that Guilty Gear was made by a metalhead and that it's inclusive and it's the most difficult fighting game out there and everybody respects it. NRS respects it. Anime people respect it. Even the production community and the voice actors are wholesome. So the voice actor for Ramlethal clarifies that she happily stepped away so a black actor could fill the role. She is on my stick. And when I was making my stick, I said, hey, I'm putting Ramlethal on there. I was like, is she black though? I'm like, she's black-ish. Like, it's post-apocalyptic and there aren't really races in the world. And Daisuke Ishiwatari just had different looking people because he wanted a more diverse game. So Ramlethal and Venom have dark skin just to be different and have dark skin. So it's just different types of characters, and it's not 8 Japanese characters and 2 blonde-haired and blue-eyed American fighters. And the voice acting community is super cool. Yeah, Blackish is a thing. I should know, JV. Look at this. I think I pop up if you look up Blackish on
No, I think
Dictionary.
I think what's her name? Ross. Tracy Ellis Ross.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yeah.
Maybe like, Rashida Jones too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, London. But look how cool, and you know, I'm just more and more excited for Guilty Gear to come out, and I'm gonna be bad at that game too.
Cool.
I thought, like, just on the segue of the voice actor stepping down so a black voice actress could step up. Have you watched Big Mouth?
Not yet. I've been meaning to.
Yes,
the
I watched
voice actress in the for Missy, who is half black, half Jewish.
Yeah.
They're actually open about it in the cartoon, but the actress steps down so a black voice actress could step in, and so it actually happens during the season, and they call it out.
Yeah, that was Slater, right? Her name Jenny Slater.
Yeah.
Oh,
so they had a Jewish actress for the first portion, and then they switched to a black.
But she's also half Jewish, so that was still accurate casting.
That's just Jenny Slate being a badass. She's like that. That is Mona Lisa Saperstein, by the way, from Parks and Recreation.
Oh,
that's
she's
Jenny
also
Slate.
She's also in that weird show with her and the other girl, and they get into like stupid adventures. What's that show?
That is very, very broad.
It's something city. Something city.
Something
it is,
city.
It's not. Yeah. Jenny Slate is not in Broad City. That's a different actress.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no. She's not
Yeah,
someone with the word city in it.
No,
Who is
yeah,
that?
she's in the Kroll show.
Okay, yeah, that's not her. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, and I forgot that she's in Zootopia. So great. Oh,
she's
and,
Ponyhead in Star versus the Forces of Evil.
oh wow.
She's Ponyhead. It's a Ponyhead that's Star's best friend and a crazy princess.
She's in The Secret Life of Pets too. Which character
And
is she?
Adventure Time, and
Voice
Yeah.
actress. She's Gidget. I've never seen Pets.
she's so talented.
Because we're just
Also,
IMDbing right now.
I know. We're live IMDbing, which would lead us to our outro, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about Overwatch. Just because... Did I put a link? Yeah, I put a link just because people that watch this podcast knows that my hair may or may not change from time to time, and I have a couple favorite characters in Overwatch, and they dropped this on me last week.
And show, I have to point out that Loud and Brown was the dude that used to make fun of Overwatch
I
for
did.
the longest time. And we're like, just play it, Derek. You probably like it. And he did.
Yeah, look at that guy. That's all. It was quick, but this is just all the different... What the hell?
This is
That's
why is a DJ guy gotta be DJing, huh?
Lucio. He does music.
Look at that guy.
He's got to do an album.
Why the black
Oh
guy
my
gotta be
God.
doing music, huh?
Look at that.
He's
I want it.
Brazilian.
Hey, why is that dude showing his teeth? He's all like showing his teeth. Like, come on, man.
Hey,
He's
you know
all-
what the funny
he's all
thing
like,
is? The funny
We're
thing,
brothers,
Russ,
we're
the
happy
two
and
people,
we're singing and we're colored.
the two people you're commenting on, neither of them are African American. This one is Haitian, and the other one is Brazilian.
Yeah.
He's showing his teeth though. That's what I see.
He's just smiling.
Batiste is just so happy.
He is a happy boy. I'm excited
Boy?
for it.
You called him boy?
Yeah, I could call him boy. Boy.
Soft.
Boy. Right near the beach. Boy. Okay, that's all the news I had. Do we have any last tags? We're going to get to closing statements otherwise.
No,
I mean,
that's all I got.
it's about time.
Okay. Closing
Awesome.
statements, rewatch Parks and Recreation, and
Yeah, I've never
enjoy
watched that.
all the majesty that is Jenny Slate. She's fantastic.
I've never watched that. I've never watched Community. I've never watched any of that stuff.
Yeah. You don't have to, but I enjoyed them. I had a
Yeah.
blast with them. And especially, you brought up Community, especially if you're someone that hated the IT crowd. Community they did all the things right
How can
that
you hate
IT crowd did very
IT crowd
poorly.
was like kind of strange for the sake of being strange. Like I didn't like the
It's
characters.
fantastic.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I get why people like it, but I couldn't get into it. And the characters themselves were kind of distracting.
It
I don't know.
was very low hanging fruit. It was just easy, dumb jokes, and I didn't think it was very funny. But that has
I
massive
didn't say
appeal
that.
because it was the same producer of 2.5 Men, and that show ran for years and made
Yeah,
all the money.
Yeah, you're not selling me on that either.
Yeah, I mean, both shows are terrible, but I don't like CIS and NCIS and all of those shows, and they make tons of money because it appeals to a broad demographic.
Well, not only that, but CBS for broadcasting, they have like the biggest network. So anywhere you are in the country, if you got a TV, not even with an antenna, and you just plug that bitch in, you're gonna get CBS. So
And
that's
you
why
get
they get all,
NCIS,
yeah.
clear as
So
crystal.
that's why they get all the ratings and they're so big because they were the OG TV standard, like as far as like broadcasting. So they have the most towers, so their towers go everywhere. So everybody in the world gets it by default. If there's one channel you get, it's CBS.
And yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'll agree to that, but I still stand by my closing statement. Watch some Parks and Rec. It's related to video games because
Parks and Rec, Farmville. You're organizing a Parks and Recreation and outdoors. And stuff.
Thank you.
Stardew Valley. Yeah.
Also, Aubrey Plaza is a main star in it, and she's in the Scott Pilgrim movie that
She's
has
delightful.
a lot of video game references. That's a stretch. I have been Loud and Brown at Loud and Brown Instagram and Twitter. I am Gross Stuff with a PH on Steam and PlayStation. 2, we're gonna go in reverse. Downtown to Fez Town.
What's up? You have the save rings. ... That's me on Steam. On Xbox, it's just the save rings, all caps. big giant eyeball looking at you. That's the symbol. That's how you know you found me. I'm still not used to places that don't have like customizable icons. You got to use like from like their pool of things like on the PlayStation 5. I didn't speak about Cyberpunk on the PS5. My neighbor was playing that right before I started the podcast. I was at his house and it crashed, so he uninstalled it. But yeah, also things betwixt on Twitch. I actually am streaming there a little bit more often. Catch me on Sage Bell's stream tomorrow. We'll be playing some more Borderlands 3.
Wednesday.
I'm off. I'm off days. They're all the same to me. So Wednesday, catch us on Sage Bell's stream. We'll be playing more Borderlands 3. I'm looking forward to it because I won't accidentally like almost set my computer on fire this time, like I almost did last time and didn't realize it.
Crashed mine.
Yeah, so I backed out and crashed her game. And also Vita Gaming on YouTube. I'll probably be posting streams that I do a little bit more professionally on Twitch. I've been kind of goofing around on there. So that's about it. Hit us up at the Steam group. We give away free games. Ask Hot Riku Girl there in the chat. Ask JB on our YouTube.
JB says community was funny. See? JB is that's some big brain power right there.
Yeah.
He knows.
But JB's easy prey. He's easy to make laugh.
I am also easy to make laugh.
Yeah, JB's easy prey when it comes to the giggles and stuff. And that's about it. I'll kick it up to the Sagiest. What's up, Sage?
Hello at SageBell, Instagram and Facebook, and Twitch is whatever. I don't know anymore. SageBell _model. I went out of order. This hat I got at my Target adventure. Because
that you tweeted about.
Yeah, I went into Target. Though I had been wanting this hat for a while, and it was no longer sold online. And then I saw it at the Target, and I was like, "Wow, Clarence hat is mine now."
You're like, don't mind if I do.
Yep. Find me here at that location with that word there. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Will I be able to stream any other time this week? Maybe on the weeknights, not on the weekend. It's going to be pretty busy. We got flowers, so I got to take pictures of people. And I have a a bridal shower this weekend. But next week is the big DVD Resident Evil reveal.
Oh.
So I'm looking forward to next week. Probably won't happen until midweek or Tuesday. So let's see what happens, who they're going to give us for our playable characters, as in killers and survivors. I'm really excited for it because apparently I'm obsessed with DVD now. I
know. We got to... London... Send a wire over to the producers of DVD. And Stellaris. We give them both so much free advertisement. We should get one of those nerds on. They don't have to be in the studio anymore. We're doing everything remote. They can kill an hour with us. I think we should make that happen.
That's true.
Make it so. Just make it happen.
All right, y'all.
I know. That's it. Remember to like, subscribe, share, drink all the Voodoo Ranger.
Like I did. This is the first time I haven't drank on the air and I don't even know how long.
Yeah, I'm drinking for you, buddy. Remember, #liverangerously. Also, check out Soundcasting Network's other podcasts. Glow Up, The Re-Show, How to Be a Better Drinker, all fantastic. Check it out at soundcastingnetwork.com. Oh my God, are we there? Is that it? We did it. We did it. This has been a production of the Soundcasting Network. Smoke trees, punch Nazis. Thank you kindly.
Bye.